Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to my channel. In this video I'll describe how to create ASP.NET MVC web application and how to publish and hosting in IIS using Visual Studio. So let's begin few points what we will discuss today. So first step is we need to know about the steps to create sample MVC application using Visual Studio, and how to publish the MVC app what we have created earlier, and how to host this in IIS using different publish target types. So I'll go to my Visual Studio. So I'll click here file and new and project. So this will open a template for me to create a sample MVC application. Here I'll create sample MVC app, and here I'll choose as my directory where the project will be saved. So I'll select as the desktop here, and I'll select folder here, and the framework is 4.6.1. I'll click here as OK. Now it will ask another page for what template you want to choose. There are many templates here. So there is empty web form, ASP.NET MVC, web API, single page application, Azure API app, Azure mobile app. So as per my requirement, I have selected as MVC. So here checkbox selected as under add folders and core references for, it's selected as MVC. So here I click OK. So it will start creating my sample MVC application, and it will create my required files and folders in my Solution Explorer what you are seeing now. So now, as of now, Solution Explorer is showing empty because my project is started creating now. So let's wait for some time to, after then we'll talk about what are the folders and files associated with this sample MVC application project. Okay, now we can see the sample MVC web application is created, and there is associate folders, properties, references. References is nothing but contain some DLL files. Here the reference files are, you can see here, and the app start folder here, root config.cs file is there to map to our controller, as well as the controller action methods will be found. So here by default is controller home and index is the controller action method. So before going through this video, I have added one MVC tutorial playlist, whatever I created earlier. Please go through that. There I have mentioned some basics about MVC application. So here I'll just close this one, and contents is nothing but it contains few CSS file, bootstrap, and JS file as well. And here controller folder is contains home controller and some fonts, and here the model class is empty. I'll create some class file it will contain, and scripts is nothing but contains some JS files, and view is nothing but contains the UI design part as per the home controller, and you can see as per there. So here you can see home is nothing but folder is in the same as the controller. So here the same folder will be created when you create one view, and share folder is nothing but the master page or layout page, and it is the error page is contents. So layout page is nothing but the master page as same as the ASP.NET web application, and view stat contains the path of the layout, this layout CSS/HTML path. So you can see here, so this is the path of layout CSS/HTML, and here if you click here underscore layout CSS/HTML, it is the master page of all the MVC application. You can if you mention this path reference in your view, then the CSS and JS whatever you mention here, it will reflect in your specific view what you mentioned there. Now, so here I'll show one simple create a simple application. I'll go to the home controller and go here. Okay, now already there index view is there, so I'll go to this index view and right click here and go to view. So it will start the view for it will start to open the view for me. So I'll not change anything here, so I'll start creating another controller action method. So what I'll do here, I will added one control action method that is public and action result, and the view name I'll mention here that Satya view, and I'll mention the bracket here, I'll mention the curly braces, and here I'll return type I'll mention here. So here I'll mention as the return type. Now I'll mention the return type here. So now this red mark is overgone, it is gone now because the return type was not mentioned. So here what I'll do, I'll create one view for this controller action method. So I'll add view option here, and it will asking about my view name. So Satya view will be there, and there is no template for as of now. There is a model class, so I'll put as empty, and here I'll just I don't select okay, I'll usual layout page, nothing but underscore layout or CSHTML. So I just click OK here, and it will create the my view, that is Satya view .cshtml under home folder, nothing but the home controller class. So it starts creating a view for me, and I will modify some contents inside the Satya view .cshtml. So we just wait for that to create the view. After then we'll start. So you can see here my view is created, and where you can see this view, I'll go this view folder, and under home folder, home is nothing but the control file, and under home folder here you can see the Satya view is there. So here you can see, guys, how many control action method: index, about, contact, about, and Satya view. Same the views name also created is about.cshtml, contact.cshtml, index.cshtml, and Satya view.cshtml. So I want to open this. So I will add some contents here, so no need to create again. I just copy these contents and I'll paste here. So I same content I paste here. So I just close this one and make it as there. So home controller.cs and Satya view.cshtml. But I want to, during runtime, I want to set as this Satya view in my start page. So for this, go to rootconfig.cs file. I'll go here, and here I'll just copy my controller action method name. Here action, under action I'll mention Satya view. So I'll save this one. So I want to run this application to see this changes. So I just click here. So it will open my Google Chrome, and it will load my MVC web app there, and we'll see the output, what it will show, what it is showing to us. So it started build is succeeded. So now it starts to open our browser, and as well as the output what I have mentioned here, the same content it will show in my web browser. Here you can see it is by default load out this one path is there, localhost and the port number what is there created by the Visual Studio by default, and the home controller and the controller action method Satya view what we have configured in our root config.cs. So here what you have mentioned here as defaults, this control name is home, and action method name is Satya view. It's the same way the URL is generated as this URL path in my web browser. You can see here this home controller and the Satya view controller action method. Now guys, you can see the output here. Here in the title I have mentioned Satya view hyphen my ASP.NET application. So here if you go to this view page, you can see Satya view here, and this hyphen my ASP.NET application it comes from this path, this layout CSS/HTML, because here you can mention view back title and path here my ASP.NET application. So view back.title is by default I have mentioned here Satya view, and it will add this my ASP.NET application in my title, and here I mentioned the h2 tag Satya view and whatever the inside the div tag, and the footer element also comes from this layout underscore CSS/HTML as is shown here. So we already have knew that how to create MVC application and how to run and build this application to get this output, and how to configure your controller action method and controller name in root config.cs. So I'll just run this debugging process and build run process, and I will show that without to run this application using Visual Studio what are the other way to run this application. Now first thing I'll go to my IIS. So here I'll click here, I'll search your control panel. I'll open this control panel here, and I'll go to this programs, and here under programs and features there is another option, turn Windows features on or off. So I'll click here. This is the first step to configure IIS setup in your Windows operating system. After then I'll tell you what are the next steps there. So here we'll check what are the options is required to set up for this IIS. So here I'll check, you can see here Internet Information Service option is there, right? So I just scroll down. Okay, now I'll just open this. So there is 3 options there: FTP server, web management tool, and worldwide web services. So here I'll open this FTP server. There is nothing to change here, and let's open this web management tool, and I'll open this IIS 6 management compatibility. So here you need to check this option IIS metadata, IIS 6 configuration compatibility, and IIS management console, and other options don't change anything as it is. So I just close this, and I'll expand these options. Worldwide web services, there are many options: application development features, common HTTP features, health and diagnostics, and performance features, and security. So I'll open this application development features here. So you need to check these options in your local IIS, and if you'll go to second one, common HTTP features, you should check these options in your local IIS. And I'll expand this health and diagnostics, and you should check these options in your local IIS. And fourth option is performance and performance features, so you need to check these options in your local IIS. And the last one is security, so you need to, there's many options, you need to check only these two options: basic authentication and request filtering. And after then you need to configure the same in your local IIS, and other checkboxes you should uncheck this. So I don't need to change anything in my local IIS, so I already have configured this one. And you should configure in your system what I have shown this earlier in under worldwide web services, web management tool, and FTP server under internet information services folders. So I after then you need to click OK, and it will take some time to load your packages in your local Windows operating system. After then you click OK, and it will work fine. So this is the first step, how to configure and set up your IIS here. Now I'll just click on go to the search here, and here I'll mention one run. So in run I'll mention iNet manager. It will open your, okay, it will not opening. So I just search this bar, that is IIS. So it will open the internet information services in my Windows operating system. So it is opens now. Okay, now if you click here, you can see there this is my desktop name, and you can see your own desktop or system name here. So here is application pool, whatever site will be created, it will show here. And sites, there are default website and satya.mbc. I have created one earlier, and this one you can see here when you use first time default website. So whatever sites you have created, it will show under this application pool. So I want to create one new website here. Okay, just click here site. Okay, when I click here site, you can see here on the right hand side there is showing two sites, default website and satya.mbc, and the status is all started, and the port number is 80, and the port number here I mentioned also 80 is default, and HTTP return type, and here I mentioned the path. So here the path is I mentioned in my path F drive, MVC publish, and app1 folder. So here I want to create another website. So add website, and here I'll mention sample.mbc. So I just copy here for the reference and paste here on notepad. So I want to physical path here. For physical path, what I'll do, I'll go to my desktop, I'll go to this git 1 and publish web, and in this publish web I want to publish my folder, and I want to give the path to my IIS. So here I'll mention this physical path here, and here the whatever files will be published in using Visual Studio, the files will load in this path, and IIS will track this path, physical path, and show the output to the end user. and the type is binding type is HTTP, IP or address is all assigned, and port number is 80, and host name I'll mention here same, so satya.mbc, and start website immediately. So I'll click here OK here. Okay, now we can see sample.mbc application is created for us, and if you click here, if you expand here, there's no files is there as of now. This folder has no files. If you go here explore, it will go this path, physical path here what I've given, because here is no folder or files, that's why it is no empty. So I just manage website and go browse. We'll see what is the output it will show. See here, it will redirect to the path sample.mbc, what hostname I have provided at the time of creating MVC new creating a site. So this site cannot be reached because there is no folders, right? So now I'll configure here some things. So before that, I'll go to my C drive. I'll go to my C drive here, and there is one option called Windows folder, and there is another folder called system32, and here you'll click your one of 5 folders there drivers. So you open this one, and in driver there is another option folder is called etc. So here you can see the host file name is there, unknown file name. Sometimes this file name is read only, so here I made it as a read only option, so I removed here. So if you go to properties, it is by default is a read only, so you should uncheck this read only so that you can modify some contents in the inside host folder. So now I'll just you cannot open this. For this we need to open here notepad. Okay, so right click here notepad, run as administrator, and it will ask some permissions, so put yes, and here you need to go to file, open this option. Okay, so here I'll open this drivers folder, and here etc, and I'll select as all files and open this host folder, host file. So here you can see that all the published version, hosting versions of names are mentioned here. So earlier I have host one application, it is called satya.mbc here. So that's here. So here also you can see this I have mentioned this path as well. So same way I need to mention this IP, and I will mention this host name as well. So here I'll mention here sample.mbc. So I'll click control save here. Just for confirmation, I'll open this using my notepad. We'll check whether this changes has been reflected or not. So it will ask about my notepad. I'll click here, click OK. Now I'll expand this. So here you can see this IP address and the host name is already saved in the host folder. So if you'll not make it as read only, and you should open it notepad in a administrator mode, otherwise you cannot modify this host folder. So for me it is successfully modified. I have mentioned this IP and host name what we have created in my local IIS. Now it is I close this path. Okay, now our next step is go to Visual Studio. So what I'll do, I'll collapse all these options. I should right click the solution, clean solution here. So it started, its clean is started, so my solution will start cleaning, and it will take few seconds to get a successful message that clean is succeeded. And after then I need to build the solution. So here it is building is started now, and after build this process, it will show a message to me that the build process is successfully done. The same way I want to do my website. So here I'll clean this application. So clean is started, so it will show the clean is succeeded, and same way I'll click it as build. So build this website. So it's build the started the project, and that is sample MVC app. So it will take some time to finish this build process as well. So build succeeded. Now the very interesting step is I right click here the project and select publish. Okay, now as per my this discussion, there are 4 publish target app service, Azure virtual machine, and IIS FTP and folder. So as per my earlier discussion, I'll show you how to publish this MVC application using IIS FTP and folder. First I'll show you how to publish this using IIS FTP. So after select this, you should click your publish. Okay, now after click a publish button, it will show another interface here, that is the publish, and publish method is web deploy, and here I'll mention here as localhost, and I'll mention here the path site name is nothing but the sample.mvc, and here I will mention this path. It is should be in localhost, localhost binding type. Okay, so I just remove this one, and here I'll check the valid connection and run ms deploy elevated. Okay, so localhost username I'll here mention here as. Okay, now what I seeing here, we need to launch Visual Studio as an administrator mode, otherwise this deployment to perform this deployment action. That's why it's showing run ms deployed elevated. So I need to cancel this one. Cancel. I will exit this close this Visual Studio instance, and okay, now what I'll do here, I'll go to my folder. Okay, now I just minimize this one. Okay, now I'll click here, right click on the Visual Studio, and right click here, and it will asking about the run as administrator, and it will ask about do you allow. Yes, and it will open the Visual Studio as a run as administrator mode. So I take my slide in a full view, so before that it is required. Okay, now the Visual Studio is not open till now. Now the Visual Studio is opened, I think. So Visual Studio is open now for me using administrator mode, you can see here. So I'll open this sample MVC application from my recent start page of Visual Studio. I click here, and it will start open my MVC application. You can see here on the right hand side the solution explorer. Now those application is opened successfully. So I just right click on this. Okay, now before this I want to go to the same steps, clean the solution, and after clean the solution I'll build this solution as well. So I'll build this solution, and after then I'll start this clean and build this web project, MVC web project, what I have shown you earlier. So it is build started successfully here. So for this solution, so I'll clean this MVC project. So right click here and clean this option. So it will start cleaning my web project. So clean successfully. So I want to build this web project. So it will start the building started of my MVC web project. So build is started. It will take some time to build everything. Now build is succeeded. So right click here, I'll go to publish. So it will open as publish target types, what we have shown earlier. So I'll select as IIS FTP and click here publish button, and here you can see publish method is web deploy, and server type I want to mention localhost, and site name here I'll mention here as sample MVC. So here as sample MVC here, and the destination URL I mention here this path. I'll give this path, otherwise I'll just mention here sample.mbc with the proper letter format. Now it is okay. So if you select validate option, now it's checking successful. That's why you're getting the green message. So validate is successfully. You go to next. So configuration is in release mode, and here we have no database connection. It is sample project, that's why there is no option, no configuration part is there under database. So here I'll check select as file publish options. I'll here exclude files from the app_data folder. So next time we'll publish some new things, it will delete the some existing files folders, or exclude this app_data folder files from the app_data folders, nothing but some configuration CS files. So here I'll save this one. So my IIS the publish setup using Visual Studio using IIS FTP publish target type is done. Now it started publishing, you can see here, and some setup is mentioned here. Web publish method ms deploy, last used build configuration release, last used for platform is in any CPU, and site URL to launch after publish. You can see here that is the sample.mbc. Okay, now my web publish is succeeded and web app was published successfully. So that's why it is generated this URL, destination URL what you have mentioned, http sample.mbc. so build successful, publish successful. Now it's done. So this is the configuration what we have made during setup of FTP IIS setup. So ms deploy publish method in proc and enable ms deploy backup is false. So after publish, it will redirect to the my destination URL. Okay, in meantime I'll show you one this folder what we have mentioned during the physical file. Okay, now I'll click here. We'll go to text of what we are giving this physical path during creating new site using IIS. So if you click here the publish web, you can see all the published version of files are generated. That is the bin folder, and bin folder is contains nothing but all these DLL files. What a reference folders contains using Visual Studio, and contents is nothing but contains some bootstrap CSS files, and fonts contains some font files. This is the published versions. Okay, now the scripts folder contains some JS files here, and views folder is contains our all these views, right? Under home folder we have 4 control action method. So that view is about, contact, index, and Satya view. And if you'll go here shared folder, it contains underscore layout CSHTML and error.cshtml. It is all published version of files. And if you'll go here application inside, there's some XML configuration is there, and this icon, some icon file, and global configuration file, and web.config file. So this is all about after publish the MVC application. Our physical path contain these files. And if you'll go here to IIS, if you'll refresh this, you'll see some files under sample.mvc. So you can see here. So where this file is coming from, if you right click here under and go explorer, it maps to this physical path whatever given during creation of our new site under IIS. So in this way we are creating new site using IIS, and we are creating our URL instead of run our web application using Visual Studio. So it should be faster as compared with that. Okay, now why it is showing denied? This configuration file is access is denied. Okay, so I just want to, what I'll do, I will stop this and I will start this, and if I'll browse this, so let's see what happened here. Okay, so access is denied is there, so maybe some path is not even correct I have mentioned. So if you'll select here, go to advanced setting, so it is okay, so everything is okay now. So if you go to permissions, so if you'll select read only and click here apply, okay, and okay, and okay here. So I just click here. Okay, I need to go to this application pool. It is successfully showing integrated, and here sites it started. So I'll right click here, manage website, go browse. So we'll check here what will this output will show here. So still is showing access is denied. So I need to give this path from different path reference. So here I'll go to my sample.mvc I will remove this, not remove, edit permission. So here read and read only. Okay, now I just go here. Okay, I think I'll change this I'll give this another path as well. What I'll do here, I'll go to the desktop and go to Git, published web. I'll select here. I just copy this folder to my app drive. So under app drive, my MVC published folder is there. So I'll paste here. Maybe I have under desktop I have created all these files. That's why some access is denied. So let's check after change this directory to from my desktop to my this folder, my app drive folder. Okay, now what I'll do here, I'll copy this path and I'll go to this IIS here. So I'll mention here, click OK. Again I'll need to check this, explore. Now it is mapped to our new path, that is app drive MVC publish and publish web. So if I'll click here, go to restart this MVC sample MVC and go to browse this. So let's check what will happen here. So if I'll go here app drive and go to my MVC publish, and here app one I already have created earlier, and here is publish web, what I have created now. So there is most important steps how to set up IIS using under control panel. Second step, we need to mention our IP and host name is in hosts folder under system 32 Windows and under C drive. And after then we need to use the publish this MVC application using Visual Studio under FTP, IIS, etc. Publish target type. And after then we'll need to create one site sample.mvc in IIS. After then we need to given our physical path there and publish our MVC web application, whatever the steps we have given earlier. After then you will get one publish succeeded and the destination URL will be given whatever given you are. So using this we can see our output, what output we have seen using our during run our MVC application using Visual Studio, yes, IIS Express. So same output will get after publish our web application in after hosting this application in our IIS. So now it is loads this sample.mvc application. And another thing is while we configure our publish setup, and this sample.mvc whatever given during setup of FTP IIS, this name should be same as this site name sample.mvc. Otherwise after publish, these folders and files, published version folders and files, will not map to the IIS site name or host name directly. Otherwise there is some, if there any mismatch during given name of host name in Visual Studio during our publish setup, so it will difficult to load all these files to our physical path, which one is mapped to our IIS site name or host name. So the sample.mvc name should be under host name, host file, and in FTP IIS setup you should give this name what you have given earlier. You can given any name, so I just want to say this name should be same and proper during the setup of public setup of in IIS using Visual Studio. Okay, now I just close this, and here what I'll do here, here I'll under this physical path whatever files are there I just want to delete, and I'll go to my Visual Studio and I'll publish again. So I already have set up this publish under this project, so no need to create again or no need to configure again. So I just click here on publish button here, so it starts publishing, and the same files it will load to our physical path. So the publish is succeeded. So it starts loading. It will automatically open this browser, and using my this destination URL, that is http sample.mvc. So now you can see publish succeeded, and it was successfully using this destination URL http sample.mvc, and build and publish it succeeded now. So if we'll go to my this folder, you can see I deleted. Now it will, after publish, it will load all these files, published version of files. It loads to my this physical path. So if we'll go here, now it starts loading this sample.mvc. So if we'll give here the home, and I'll mention here as my controller action method. So Satya view, I just copy here and I'll paste here. Okay, so it is not copy properly. Satya view here. So I Satya, so I press okay. Now you'll go to some other files. Oh, okay, sample dot MVC. Okay, now it's just removed, and I just copy here and I'll paste here. And here what I'll do, I'll mention here home and Satya view. So hopefully it starts loading my Satya view CSS/HTML and show the output to the end user. So here you can see my after published to my IIS, the sample MVC application is reflected successfully what you have seen earlier using localhost. So now my published version of MVC application is showing here successfully. The same title here, Satya view my ASP.NET application. Here is the path, home is a control name, and the view is the Satya view, and the h2 tag and whatever the div tag here. So now I'll change here my h2 tag Satya view to something else. So I'll go here Satya view.cshtml, Satya view app. So I'll just save here. So here I'll go to publish. Okay, I'll just build here. So my build is succeeded, build project is succeeded. Now I go to publish. So already published there, I just click here published button here. So it starts publishing the folders and published versions of files to my physical path. So no need to load again, I just refresh this one. So after changes, my web application was published successfully, built successfully. So I just refresh this link, whatever host application we have hosted in our IIS. So hopefully the reflected changes will be shown here. So now we'll check, just go to view, and here I'll go open this home folder, and here published version of this is the published version of Satya view CSS/HTML. So if you'll open this in Notepad, okay, now I'll just click here and edit Notepad++. So you'll check what are the contents are there. Now you can see Satya view back.title I have changed, right? Satya view to view app. So after published, the published version of file, that is Satya view.cshtml, contains our changes. So hopefully after the output will be shown here. So I'll just close this one. If you'll go here, okay, now I'll just control F5. So it will, in the title it will be updated to Satya view app, because in our Satya view.cshtml we have changed from Satya view to Satya view app. So hopefully it will reflect here. Now you can see the Satya View to Satya View app, the title is changed. That means my after changes it will I have made some changes and published these changes to my physical path, and my IIS responds properly whatever my changes. Okay, now the published target type is FTP, IIS, etc. has been done successfully. So same thing I'll do using the folders. And what we'll do now, I'll go to here and click publish, and I just go here, delete profile, yes, and close this one. I'll close this rootconfig.cs and home control.cs. only this file should be there, so make some changes. I'll check the output. So here again I'll need to publish, click publish option. So earlier I have told you how to set up IIS FTP. Now I'll show you folders. So here when I select folders, you need to give this path, this physical path, what we have given during a publish of using IIS. So what I'll do here, I just I delete all these files, whatever is there, and these files also. I'll check again, go to my MVC app, publish web app. There is no files and folders. The same physical path I need to use for this. Okay. Okay, just again recheck this one on MVC web app, publish web app. There is no folders and files. So I'll use this physical path, whatever I have used during publish target type for FTP IIS. I need to use this path for folder type, folder publish target type. So here I'll mention this path and click publish. And here no need to give okay, now you can see my publish started, and here you can see earlier for this publish target type FTP and IIS, for this there is so many options there, right? But here for folder type you can see only 3 options. Target location, here this path, physical path, it is should be same as the physical path is mapped to our sample.mvc site in IIS, and delete existing file configuration is release. So this is the all options we can find during publish target type using folder type, and that is the publish target type. And after then you can see the published successfully, and it will take some time, less time rather than FTP and IIS. So web app is published successfully to this folder, and there the URL is not generated because I have given this folder option and physical file. That means all these files, published versions of files, are uploaded to our this path, this physical path. So build and published is succeeded. So if you go here my physical path, so you can see all these files has been uploaded after the publish using publish target type, that is folder. Now if you'll go to here my sample.mvc site, if you'll go here explorer, so the physical path I've given same, and using FTP and as FTP, IIS, and as well as the folder types, the physical path is same. So after publish this MVC application using publish target type, that is folder, this all published versions of files are uploaded here. Now I'll check this output after I publish this MVC application using publish target type, that is a folder. So I'll here browse, so this output for folders publish target type, right? So here I just mention here Som Satya View. So it will start loading the our output whatever you have hosting to our IIS. After showing this output, I will change some contents in this satyaview.cshtml whatever we have done earlier using publish target type ATP IIS. The same process I will do under folder publish target type, and after publish we'll check the output as well here. Now we can see the output, right? Satya view app after published using publish target type folders, and this is my home controller and the controller action method Satya view, and this is the h2 tag and the all deep tag and footer element after publish this to my IIS hosting. So I'll change this one changes under this folder publish target type. Here Satya view application is there. I want to change this h2 tag Satya view app, so I save these changes. I need to build this sample MVC app project, so it will start building my project successfully. So here I'll get one alert message that the build is succeeded. After once it will be start the building, after then it will start building process, and it will show to the end user that build succeeded. So build is succeeded. Now I want to publish these changes to my IIS under folder publish target type. You can see folder profile, right? So here I'll click here publish. So it will start publishing to our changes to my IIS host name, that is sample.mbc. So during publish also it start building the files and folders. After then it will publish also. It will publish the same files and folders to our physical path. See here, the connecting to this physical path here, it's publishing all folders. So my web app is published successfully to this folder physical path what we are given earlier, build succeeded and publish succeeded. So if I'll go here and go to this web views folder and open this home folder here, and we'll open this Satya view CSHTM published version of Satya views web page, and here we can see this output, some changes what we have made today. See here the h2 tag I updated from Satya view to Satya view app. Now my published is successfully done to my physical path. So I need to refresh this this URL to whatever changes we have made, it will reflect now. So Control F5. Now see, it was showing Satya view, right? So after successfully load the request, it will show, it will change to Satya view app in h2 tag. So now you can see here the h2 tag is updated from Satya view to Satya view app successfully after publishing this MVC application under publish target type folder to IIS. So that's all about how to create MVC web application and how to set up the IIS and there are 3 steps. Under control panel we need to choose some options under internet information services, and step 2 is we need to mention our IP and host name in hosts folder in C drive, Windows and System32 folder. After then we need to clean and build the solution as well as MVC web project. After then we need to right click the project and select publish. There are 4 options there, and we'll discuss only 2 options, that is for publish target type FTP, IIS, etc. and folder. So how to create the physical path in our F drive, because desktop has some access denied issue, so that I changed from desktop to F drive. You can choose any drive, C drive, D drive, E drive. So C drive you can choose. So I have choose that I selected as F drive to published path, physical path. So after then I have created one sample site here, sample.mbc. The same site name should be configured in our hosts folder, so we should mention this name, and during creation of site also we should mention this name, and during published version of MVC to our IIS we should mention this host name under FTP IIS published target type. And under folder type there is no need to mention the host name, that is sample.mbc, only physical path is sufficient there. And I already have shown you, that is after published using FTP IIS type, whatever options are was showing here, and now after publish this MVC application under folder publish target type, there are only 3 options. So in this way we can create and publish and hosting our MVC application to IIS hosting, to our IIS. And you can see before, when I run this application, you can see some local host and their port number is generated, but after hosting our application to IIS there is no local host and port number generated. So whatever site name we have given our host name, so that will be reflected here, as well as our control name and view name it is showing here. And after publish these files to our physical path, this is all about our published version of files. There are many, you can see here, DLL files, CSS, JS, fonts file, and views, and some XML file configuration files, that is application insight, web.config. And while we created our controller file, under controller we create some controller action method and view. So here you can see some whatever view you have created. Accordingly you will see the output like this, home and Satya view. Now I'll go to my slide. So next slide, the published target types, what we learned today, IIS, FTP, etc. and folder. And I have already shown you how to use these 2 types for publish your MVC web application to IIS. This is my YouTube channel. Subscribe and share it to get up-to-date knowledge on MVC, C#, SQL Server, Angular, Bootstrap, and Azure, and GitHub, and DevOps and Jenkins. So what we have learned today? Today we have learned that how to create sample MVC application using Visual Studio, and how to publish this MVC application in IIS using different publish target type, that is FTP, IIS, etc. and folder. So that's it for today guys. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.